Good evening, everyone. I'm Kimberly Reese-Mensah, and welcome to a night of love, dedication, education, and support. It's a tribute to the beautiful Aubree, Christie, Lambon. It's also a night of support for Thomas and Jessica Lambon. You all are here because you know they recently lost their beautiful little girl. But even in the midst of sorrow, even in the midst of her pain, Jessica wanted to make sure that this night was also about education. I was Jessica's doula. I had the opportunity to be there with her as she delivered that beautiful little girl. There is a huge disparity in healthcare, specifically among African American women and other women of color. We've got to do something about that. So maybe some answers will be given tonight for some of you who have questions. So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Thomas and I met in August of 2016. It was my first year doing missions, and it was his first year helping with missions in Ghana, West Africa. During the mission trip, we did medical missions, we visited baby orphanages, visited schools and things like that. But to cut a long story short, the missionaries and the translators were exchanging Facebook information and phone numbers and things like that. And Thomas pulled me to the side and said that he thought he was in love with me. And I just thought he was crazy. But I told him I didn't know him like that, but we could definitely be friends. So for the next year or so, Thomas and I grew our friendship, and by the time I was ready to make my trip back to Ghana in 2017, Thomas and I decided to start a courtship. So that's basically how we got started, and the rest is history from there.
So I met my wife in 2016 while doing missions with the help of Friends of Africa. So I was interpreter anytime we go to villages. So I help interpret for those who doesn't understand English. And we was in Ejira in Ashanti region. So we used to go to villages around Ejira. So I like the way my wife shared the gospel, and I felt like she knew the word of God more, and she was so good. So I thought she was so cute. I loved her eyes, so I always look at her. So I always wanted to be close to her. Anytime we go to places like villages, going to preach, going to share, and other things, I would love to sit close to her. But when it was time for her to leave and go back to US, so they first went to Accra. So I asked her number and we both exchanged numbers. So I kept on talking to her, messaging her till she go back to US. So I was talking to her every day, anytime, asking how she's doing. In 2017, June 24th, she finally agreed to be with me in a relationship. So we both started the journey from there. We plan to get married, and we plan so from 2017 2018, and we finally got married in 2019. This is how I got to know, and this is how I met my wife.
Thomas and I got married on the 25th of August in 2019. Our colors were green and white, and everything about my wedding was perfect. And it was perfect because my husband put everything together, and all I did was show up and say I do. And when I say everything, I mean he had my dress made. We had 2 ceremonies, and he had my dress made for both ceremonies. His tux made. He made all the arrangements for the decorations and the car, everything. So I love that because it's definitely one of the ways that he shows me he loves me, by preparing things for me. I think one of my favorite things about getting married was at our traditional ceremony, Thomas got down on one knee and gave me a American proposal. Even though his culture, they don't do the get down on one knee and, ask you to marry you type of thing. But I thought that it was sweet that he wanted to honor me and my culture. His family was a little in shock, but I loved it.
So we got married on the 25th of August at Harvesters Church in Ijra. The beautiful moment I had at my wedding day was when we exchanged rings, and my wife was finally mine, and I knew I was finally his. So I was so excited. I knew that I was going to spend my whole life with her. That was the best moment I had with my wife.
Your hands up, please. Let your hands be up. Now, Mr. and Mrs. Lambon, you are no longer 2 independent persons, but one. Well, therefore, God has joined together. Let no man separate. So now, I declare you husband and wife. Show yourself in the congregation. Show yourself in the congregation. Show yourself in the congregation. I never knew you favored me. You had no life for all. A better world. Never imagined you married me this time. My life for all. I never knew you favored me this time. My life for all.
when we found out that we were expecting, we were extremely excited, through the roof. We were also a little bit scared, we were becoming first-time parents. And I was just excited that, I was able to get pregnant. And my husband has a heart for children, so I knew that he was excited to be having a baby. And I could tell he was excited when his level of care increased. When I was with him, he would make me pancakes in the morning. And when I wasn't with him, we would sleep on the phone together. He would make sure I ate and was drinking water. And we were just elated.
So when Aubree passed away, I felt like I was finished and I was depressed. Didn't know what to do because this situation never happened to me and I didn't know what to do. So I felt like I was finished. When are we getting this together? Am I gonna make it? And my wife was far away from me. I can't do nothing to help but to stay on the phone to encourage my wife. And friends, family, all people around that really shows me love. They encourage me and it make me felt strong and it make me feel I was going to do it again. We have friends that involved with prayers with me, that help me with teachings, and when I have friends that have been through in these situations, so they helps me a lot to understand how it is. So this what happened to me when I had my baby girl Aubree pass away.
This poem is called Life. You don't have to be concerned with anything that is wrong in your life. You only need to know that everything is right. Right on your pathway, needs, desires, and wants, waiting at your command to materialize in your life. Spirit moves swiftly. No sound to be heard, no reason to be in doubt, no reason to be concerned. Thoughts of power releases, reality changes pieces. Pieces of a dream, queen. Believe in your king. Disney may be right. Know your plan in life, who you are, what makes you right, what inspires you, what brings in the light. If the light don't shine, command it to do so by releasing negativity and forgiving all folks. Hug someone with unconditional love. Start a cycle of events for love to trust. You don't have to be concerned with anything that is wrong in your life. You only need to know that everything is right. The rules are the game, the principles made. Energy produces the heart of thoughts played. Rhythm, rhythm. Vibrations beat slow. Flashes unite the world above. How unique to see more than you know. Tune in, explore, there is so much more. The spirit of wisdom will open the door. Look with the mind, feel with the vibe, hear the sound, vibrations all around. Mesmerize sounds of light, the light of my hand held high above my head. Praise with power, demand with authority, the God within shall set you free. Seek self and self will appear, to be the spirit of the battle to show no fear. You don't have to be concerned with anything that's wrong in your life. You only need to know that everything is right. Alpha, Omega, beginning and end, healer and friend. Everything is a light. Everything in your life is right.
Hi, I'm Kimberly McGinnis, and I'm a community health worker here at UC Health for the Center for Women's Health.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Butler, and I am honored to share information about my journey of caring for mothers and their babies and their families during infant and pregnancy loss. I work at Memorial Health in Savannah, Georgia, as the perinatal bereavement and palliative care coordinator.
Hi, my name is Clinique Davis. I am a family nurse practitioner. Right now I specialize in women's health, obstetrics, and gynecology.
And primarily what I do is connect women to the resources that are available to them in the community. And those resources could be getting assistance for any utility bills, assistance with any housing challenges that they might be having, helping them get connected to different agencies so that they can get the needed baby items that they need for the pregnancy that they have. I would say the things that probably make me most happy about this job is the successful connections that I'm able to make. Sometimes it's just something as simple as being able to help a mom identify an agency that can assist her. Sometimes it's being able to provide information. So many times I'll have clients that'll call and say, well, I have this condition, this is how I feel. Should I come in for a doctor's appointment? Is this something I can be concerned about? And so I'm able to do some troubleshooting in between to help them identify, do I need to come to the doctor today? Do I need to go to urgent care? Or do I need to actually show up at the labor and delivery triage so that somebody can take a look at them? And I think one thing that I would absolutely encourage any woman to do is begin to really understand her body, and that her body is a place that she has to advocate for, meaning she has to speak up for. And yes, our medical professionals have great information that they can provide about different procedures, but sometimes we are not able to understand all the technical information. And it's really important to be able to be comfortable just asking the question, because your medical professional is really here to help you, to help guide you through the process of your pregnancy. You are not alone in this process. There are other people available and willing to help you, whether that is members of your family, your friends, your medical professionals, or perhaps considering some additional supports like having a community health worker, having a doula, which is a person who is there to help support you through your pregnancy and really be that encouragement and cheerleader. Whereas the other side of that is possibly having a midwife who is really more interested in helping you understand how the physical parts of your body work throughout your birth. Recognizing the importance of prenatal care and having the regular appointments, and knowing that having an appointment once a month earlier in your pregnancy is normal, and then as you get further along in your pregnancy, it might become a bit more frequent. So maybe then every 3 2 weeks, and then every week during that last week of your pregnancy. Because honestly, anytime between 36 weeks and 40, babies can come. Because that due date is an estimated due date, and that baby can arrive whenever it is that they feel that they are ready. Food insecurities. So many times our people do not have adequate access to good nutritional foods, nutrient-dense foods, such as those leafy greens, the fruits and vegetables, access to proper protein, as well as then also being surrounded by places that sell us food, but it's not necessarily the most nutritious for us, meaning having many fast food restaurants around us that are serving us inexpensive and fried items. And so sometimes it's a lack of knowledge on our part of understanding that sometimes inexpensive is not always the best for us. So beginning to understand how all those pieces work together to help us to have more pregnancies with greater positive outcomes is what we really need to be working towards.
If you could give a positive affirmation to some of the women watching who may be pregnant or who have lost children, there'll be a lot of women watching who have lost their babies. What are some positive words of affirmation you can give them, especially those who still have the opportunity to maybe have more babies later? So what words can you leave with these ladies?
I would like to offer the positive affirmation that you are capable, that you are seen, that you are heard, and that you are loved and valued, and that the pregnancies that you have had outcomes that may not have been the happiest for you, but that you also have the possibility for other pregnancies. And so to not give up, but then to also use your voice and advocate for yourself and speak to what it is that you need so that people can hear.
Okay.
I work at Memorial Health in Savannah, Georgia, as the perinatal bereavement and palliative care coordinator. My background is neonatal intensive care nursing, and I've had different roles within that background, such as neonatal transport nurse, management, I've done neonatal PIC team leader. I really thought all of those roles would prepare me as I transitioned into a bereavement palliative care role, which supports mothers and maternal staff members during pregnancy and infant loss. What I've learned is that nothing prepared me more than experience. Experience in relationship building. This relationship provides the ability to connect on an intimate level with another human being in the midst of pain and grief in this most honoring job. My services within my facility can be from an early loss and helping mothers find ways to validate their baby and what that baby means to their family. A mother who just receives the words of no heartbeat found on an ultrasound, then development of plans for an induction of labor. A mother who presents an early labor with a gestation of less than 22 weeks and the inability to stop her labor. Or a mother who receives a diagnosis of life-limiting for her baby, which necessitates coordination of care to individualize that baby's needs and honors their family's wishes. Families and I partner together to provide varying levels of interventions or a path of comfort care, where their baby's care is focused on ease of symptoms, basic needs, and optimizing the time that their baby can spend snuggled in mom and daddy's arms. When I'm given the opportunity to companion with these families, my goals are simply to allow them to parent as much as possible. This parenting can take on many shapes and forms, for each family processes, grieves, and parents differently. We discuss the importance of memory making, keepsakes, spending uninterrupted time with their baby, allowing them to say hello before we ever talk about when it will be time to say goodbye. This relationship-based care helps the mother and her family form memories and build a relationship with this baby, for they will continue this bond for a lifetime. One thing I find very important is support after discharge, as a mother transitions home without her baby. The support of some mothers may just be a follow-up phone call to let them know someone's thinking of them. It can also be used to answer questions, clarify healthcare needs, offer assistance with paperwork, or coordination with funeral homes. Follow-up is also very important to assess a mother's emotional needs, to provide information for support groups or counseling if this is something she's ready for. Every mother is different. It is important to recognize we as providers cannot change what has happened or say anything to make it better, but we can be available and open to partner with them to support their journey of grief. Thank you for your time.
I have been a nurse since 2007, and I've been practicing as a nurse practitioner almost for 4 years. And I love what I do. I love helping, being there, supporting women and their babies. Mainly, I take care of the moms, during your prenatal period and your postpartum period. Getting access to care early is very important. As soon as you get a positive pregnancy test, we want to see you. We want to get your care started. We want to know about you, know your history, so that we can take care of you the best way that we know how. All of this is important to your health, your baby's health, your well-being, as well as postpartum care. If you can think about it from our point of view, yes, we want to take care of you and make sure everything is good and your mental state is well and that you're feeling good and the baby's doing well. But, we've taken care of you for 8 months. We want to see you and that baby after you deliver. So postpartum care is very important. Go to your postpartum visits. Go see your provider. Talk about any concerns. And this is during pregnancy as well. Any concerns, you may not feel any symptoms. You may not have a headache. You may not have spots in your vision or any other complaint. But when you come and see us and we take your blood pressure or we, check your lab values, something may tell us that something else is going on. So we want you to get in. We want to see you postpartum. And for those moms who have lost your babies, we want to still see you. I know it's hard. I know it's hard to get in, put your clothes on, come to an appointment for a postpartum visit and you don't have a baby with you. But we want you to know that we want to see you, we want to support you, and we want to be there for whatever you need. So no matter what, go to all of your appointments, your prenatal, your postnatal, go see your medical doctor, get all the care that you possibly can and that you and your baby need. Take care.
Flat lines. No matter how closely we follow, it's not clear what's around the bend. But if we look long enough, those same lines show us where death starts and life begins. Begin with perfection. The epitome of what it means to be alive in one place. A garden. Just as quick, there was one lie, 2 bites, and countless generations of hearts hardened. The end. Flawlessness. Innocence. In an instant and with little warning, stolen in a devious ploy, plotting by the enemy who, with all he can do, is on a warpath to steal, kill, and destroy you and me. We've been confused ever since. reaching for any and everything in life to validate our significance. This brokenness penetrates, then permeates to the core of our dark souls that perpetuates an incessant need to hold fast to pride and never let go. Goes without saying, we're in need of Jesus. One last dinner with those he held closest, knowing full well that, in a blur, a betrayal would bring his mission into focus. Notice the scene, back in a garden, this time Gethsemane, rest fleeting and with high intensity, a final plea. Father, if it be your will, take this cup from me, but not my will. Yours, Father. Let it be. Let it be known he was pierced for our transgressions, crushed for our sins. Our final hope lay lifeless in defeat and shame. Cloth-wrapped body, air-sealed tomb, and all of creation immersed in grief and pain, wondering why Jesus even came. I came that they may have life and have it abundantly. Jesus came to overcome. From the ashes of defeat, we've been given new life because his heart beats. After a couple days in the tomb, with our forever hanging in the balance, it looked pretty good for the thief. But on the third morning, Jesus left an empty grave that was beyond belief. I believe Jesus' work on the cross didn't signify he was through. It was simply a prequel, evidence of things hoped for that he would eventually do. Do you hear me? Are you listening? This changes everything. Everything that hurt you in your past no longer defines you. The awful reminders of every mistake, every sleepless night you lay awake, every smile you had to fake, every relationship that ended in heartbreak, every difficult decision you had to make, every tear from every ache, those shifting shadows you ran from but couldn't shake, lose their power in this divine truth. His heart beats. Because Jesus overcame, we can overcome. On that glorious day, Jesus gave his life and paved the way for a way forward. Now that debt you owed is paid for, so pay it forward. Yes, the game has changed. We're game changers, unchanged by the circumstances we currently occupy, but operating in the presence of Jesus, knowing it's Christ who can truly satisfy. Why? You see, those flat lines are a flat lie, just a half-truth dispersed. It was no small feat for the Lord to execute the details of this grand work, from creation to resurrection, putting the effects of death in reverse. But because of it, there's hope for tomorrow, even when we're at our worst. Faith breaks every chain, every pain, and every curse. Faith can even move mountains because Jesus made that flat line do it first, because his heart beats. Awake, O sleeper, and arise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you. Our morning gives way to the morning, the light of the world in clear view. Hope springing up life, death's lies become untrue. Jesus, our great Redeemer, he is making all things new.
You know what? I am extremely blessed because throughout this whole process, I have been wrapped up in love and in care. And God definitely puts the right people in your life for whatever situation you're going through. And if I can be that for another mom, if she can feel 1 ounce of the love and the care that I have had, then I know that my Aubree's small little life wasn't in vain.
of artists coming together, professionals coming together, and friends and family to celebrate Aubree, Christie, Lambon, and to support Thomas and Jessica Lambon. Please don't forget, go to the GoFundMe and also go to her Cash App if you would like to support them. Right now, they need your help. We got to get Thomas here, and there's a lot to do when it comes to immigration. So, again, thank you so much for being here. And on behalf